It was 1995 when I first got the 3DO. I was used to playing games such as Ninja Gaiden and Contra on NES, or Final Fantasy VI and Star Fox for SNES. I was lucky enough to be the cool kid that had 3DO when everyone else was still enjoying the likes of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Wing Commander 3 was one of my main reasons for wanting to own a 3DO. Wing Commander comes from the mind of Chris Roberts, well known from the PC flight sim genre, for games such as Strike Commander and Privateer. Playing a game like Wing Commander 3 back then was a dream come true. Finally, games were not just considered unrealistic child's toys. They were starting to be recognized as an art form along with film and music. Like any Hollywood film, Wing Commander delivered a star-studded lineup of well-known actors such as Mark Hamill as the main character Colonel Christopher Blair,
Isn't that the guy from Star Wars?
Malcolm McDowell as the snooty Admiral Tolwyn, John Rhys-Davies as Blair's longtime co-pilot and friend Paladin, and the hilarious Tom Wilson as the cocky pilot Maniac, well known for his role in Back to the Future as Biff.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Think, McFly. Think!
Even Francois Chow of Lost fame is in the game as the loner pilot Vagabond. I didn't even realize it was him till around the 5th season of Lost. This shot up the awesome factor of Wing Commander 3 to new heights. The story begins as Blair's love interest and former wingmate Angel Devereaux is in captivity on the homeworld of the evil race of felines known as the Kilrathi. Then flashes forward to a grim scene on the planet Vespus, where Blair and Paladin inspect the crashed remains of the carrier TCS Concordia. The war between the Confederation and the Kilrathi had been waged for decades when Blair is transferred to the TCS Victory, another Confederation carrier ship, where he is to take up the role as the new Wing Commander and try to turn the war effort in favor of the Confederation. The story is told through live-action FMV cutscenes, shot against green screen backgrounds, which still hold up well today, with fine acting due to the talented actors involved. You quickly get familiar with your crew on arrival, build relationships with them, loyalties are betrayed, and see some of them die either by mandatory storyline sequences or failing to protect them in combat. Blair's motivation is driven by wanting to find out the fate of his lover and former comrade Angel. There are plenty of twists and turns to keep you engrossed in the story. There's also plenty of comedic moments to break up the drama.
And if you lose, you won't be too popular around here, so I'm gonna give you a word of advice, Colonel. Kick the little twerp's ass.
Yes, sir.
And even the choice of two love interests that lead to Blair getting a kiss. The story builds to an epic conclusion that you would expect from any space opera such as Star Wars. This was one of the few games where the ending didn't leave me in the least bit disappointed. The structure of the game works like this. You can roam around the ship talking to various crew members and pilots between missions, sometimes allowing you to make a choice of what to say next, usually positively or negatively, which has an effect on your pilot's morale and willingness to help you out during a mission. This can also directly affect the story, such as winning a bet against the show-off test pilot Flash, forcing him to join your ranks aboard the Victory.
This punk's not worth it. Time to teach this punk a lesson.
On one condition. If you lose, you put in for a transfer to combat pilot status aboard the Victory.
If that'll make you feel better. I'd ask you to shine my shoes if I win, but I like my shoes too much.
Or deciding to ground an unruly pilot who has gone rogue.
Read to us from the regs manuals. I know there are certain actions necessary.
Give her a break. Ground her.
If every pilot pursues a private war, the Kilrathi triumph. Until further notice, you're grounded.
After these interludes, you report to the briefing room to get your current mission assignment. Choose which pilot you want on your wing. Then configure your ship by talking to one of the female love interests of the game, Chief Tech Rachel Corey Ellis. There are a number of distinct ships in the TCS Victory's arsenal, ranging from the fast fighter called the Arrow, which is good for dogfighting, to the bulky and slow-moving longbow with its large payload of torpedoes and mines, good for taking out capital ships with ease.
Your comrade has been obliterated. Now you're on your own, Terran.
There's also a prototype ship called the Excalibur that isn't available till later on when Flash arrives aboard the Victory. This is easily the most badass ship in the game. You will be itching to test it out. You can use different combinations of energy weapons, or combine them all for a full setting, which drains your energy faster, but causes more damage. There are also a variety of missiles to choose from, ranging anywhere from fire and forget, rear lock-on heat seekers, or more powerful ones such as the dumbfires and torpedoes, used for taking out the huge capital ships. There are simple objectives such as going on patrol routes, taking on Kilrathi fighters and capital ships, ranging from nearly defenseless cargo transports to huge warships that can take tons of damage and dish it out even more. There are also more important missions such as thwarting an attempt by the Kilrathi to spread a bioweapon over an entire planet, or rescuing a scientist needed to build the Confederation a new superweapon.